Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Trials into Reverie. The last part, we took a look at two daydreams. Yes. One showing off a little bit of Claire's background and her family. We also got a glimpse of Isara, who is Major Irving's sister. And then we took a look at a daydream involving Toa, George, Crow, and Angelica, and Toa's big decision after the war. So that was nice, getting a little more backstory in the characters. We got 3 more left to go through, so let's at least try to bang out 2 more. We got Justice Ado, and then hopefully the Fallen Prince. So let's check it out. Let's see what our favorite inspector is up to. 3 days after the SSS successfully liberated Crossbell, I found myself being the first of my old classmates to see the city in all its newfound freedom. Oh shit, that's correct. Inspector Regnitz, yes, we've been expecting you. Quite an entourage. It's a pleasure to meet you both. Ordinarily, the withdrawal of all Erebonian troops and weapons from Crossbell should have happened immediately after the war. The IDF's occupation had caused a delay, and now it could finally be executed, and overseeing it was our mission. This critical assignment came directly from my father, a task closely linked with Crossbell's independence to boot. Veteran inspectors in Rhineford were entrusted with watching over Tongren Fortress and the local military factory, while I was assigned to the city itself, and my primary focus would be the tower and the tower defense force had occupied. The SSS only knows how to do it big, don't they? Can't believe they pulled this off. I heard Yuna's still out of school to help them dealing with the aftermath. Dudley. The Dudster. I remember him from the files related to the SSS. First Division, I think. What was the name again? Never mind, I need to focus on work. Off to the 36th floor then. It was quite the gargantuan task for Machias inspecting inside of Orcus Tower, reviewing each shard of broken glass or overturned vase. But while working hand in hand with the local police and CGF, he set out to ensure that no offense caused by the IDF would go unnoticed. The work was exhausting, mentally and physically. Days in, he was still on the clock long after burning the midnight oil. This left no time to go out for drinks with fellow colleagues. It was just him and his work. You could feel the fatigue start to eat away at him. Thankfully, there was a local cafe that had become a safe, small haven for his weary soul. Thanks for the waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials. Thank you. There is no better morning ritual than one that starts with a good cup of coffee. Now I can start to work with my best foot forward. Hey, check out the Imperial. Oh yeah, a pal of mine in the tower was telling me about having to work with that guy. Thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials. Much obliged. Oh, is that Dudley? There he is, the Dudster. Nothing like the first cup of the day. Coffee Bros. He was determined to do his job well, for the SSS who fought by his side during the Twilight, for all of his friends doing what they could bring back in the Empire, and for his father who believed he could handle such an important task. Machias hard at work. Little did he know, however, that his hard-earned day off several days later would be spin around his beloved brew. You're all a dark roast. I'm so sorry, sir. I know it's your go-to coffee. Ours is ground from beans and poured straight from Orid. But I'm afraid something's happened that's made it impossible to get it back in stock. The owner was saying something about crime being afoot. Wait, what crime is being committed? Oh, sorry, sir. Listen to me go on. Not at all. In fact, do go on. Oh, it's a Dudster. Oh no! The Coffee Bros are coming together to solve this crime. Detective? Well, what he said, I'm worried it's just not the same without your coffee. If you don't mind, could you let us speak with the owner of this establishment? Oh no, it's the Coffee Bro. The Coffee Bros are banding together. Justice Ado. Ado? Yeah, that kind of thing seems to be happening a lot lately. We got a number of queries about missing parcels, deliveries to the wrong address, and the like. What is this, UPS? Or USPS, excuse me. My hunch is that trade is resuming is just plain as companies in chaos. I sure hope things will calm down soon. Indeed. Thank you for your cooperation. I'd had a hunch after hearing about the cafe owner had to say, but wow, this one's deeper than it rightly should. It also matches up with several reports the police have received. Server communication delivery mishaps and the confusion just after Crossbow's liberation were eventually traced to imported goods and sundries disappearing in transit. Right, and there are too many cases for it to be all mere coincidence. The staff testimonials or anything to go by, it's not just restaurants either, and any business could fall victim. And all in a way so they don't even notice there's a pattern. Quite the underhanded operation. Are there multiple perps or is someone acting alone? What could their MO be? We need to gather information. It occurs to me now that this is rather late, but I was sent from the Empire on work-related business at Orcus Tower just last week. My name is Inspector Machias Regnitz. I know. Alex Dudley of the CPD's Thrust Investigative Division. So you knew who I was this whole time. From reports related to the SSS, I'm guessing. The First Division deals in foreign affairs as well, so naturally I'd know about you. Your father being Representative Regnitz, and you being a member of Class 7 puts you on our radar more than any report. Right, I'm sure. Don't let me knowing that freeze you up on me. For the first time in quite a while, I'm not on the clock, and I'm not about to sit back when my coffee is in danger. We'll have no shortage of ordeals to face in the days to come, and I won't let that be mirrored by the gloss of one of my life's simplest pleasures. Oh. So, Inspector Regnitz, may I request your cooperation with my independent investigation? I realize this is out of our respective jurisdictions, but I hope you might say yes, as a fellow lover of coffee. Of course, I'd be happy to assist. Coffee Bros. Thus, the two formed an unusual bond and opened up an investigation about their beloved bitter beans. Their first stop was inside the department store where Machias questioned his old friend Patiri. Patiri? I don't even know. Reputable trader Harold Hayward was next on the list, and he suggested they visit each district to interview the city's merchants. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I use that route all the time myself. Lucky for me, I was sure to move some things around ahead of time, so we're not hurting stock-wise. I'm thinking whoever's behind it is either green as grass in the underworld, or they straight have no fear of death. Or both. And what makes you think that? I don't mind answering, but it's gonna cost you. Though I think I can afford to give you a friendly discount, detective. Huh. I would have thought he'd have a bigger problem with her line of work. The black market work, yeah, you think. So that's about everything we could figure out. This is doing a lot more than harm to the locals than I would have realized. This is incredible help, so thank you. The junior SSS is everything I'd hoped for and more. Good, with all the SSS has done for us, we were always down to cover for him. Ask us for help whenever you need it. I certainly will. I'm sure I'll be back at some point. He's quicker to think on his feet than I give him credit for. I wonder why I didn't see the sight of you coming. I just hadn't pegged you as the type to have the connections with Nine Volley or a back alley bar. Any detective worth the salt knows there are valuable clues to be derived from the underground. I suppose I'm not the only one who's had his expectations flipped then. Your file read like you'd be more resistant to going off book. Thought you'd be more straight-laced. Don't take this the wrong way, but that applies more to you than me. I've still got a ways to go. Crossroads independence is at stake. I can't look forward to let my experience as an inspector be what screws it up. I don't think... Oh, where's my next bar? Oh boy. I think he's had enough to drink. Whoa there, sir. Sorry about that. Not at all, I just stepped out of the way. I recall this guy works in general affairs at Orcus Tower. Those glasses. I remember you're an inspector from the Empire. Showed up the EDF out the door, got all the paperwork in order. You just one hell of a hard worker. I'm guessing it's as easy for an Imperial to finish what's Imperial started, huh? That isn't how I would put it. You know, I've been hearing lots of stories about fraud picking up here again. They keep that up, they might start calling this place the Sea of Sin the way they did before the SSS cleaned the place up. That's you bastards' fault. You just come and start tearing down everything we built. Hey, that's enough. I understand lips are loose when drunk, but not any more of that mouth, and it'll be interfering with official business. Huh? Wait, I should be around too. What are you doing, you moron? Stop heckling random people on the street. Sorry about him. He gets like this when he drinks too much. Detective Dudley, Inspector Regnitz? Oh, I'm so sorry if my friend had said anything rude. I think he's just been doing too much OT since the liberation. Come on, man, let's go. I know it's our day off, but you drank way too much, I tell you. Sure, I can still go for more. I don't think you can. If you could just stay for just another minute. Your friend here mentioned something about your fraud being on the rise. Would you happen to know anything about that? We're in the middle of an investigation, so anything at all we could share with us would be greatly appreciated. Oh, you know, I think I might. There's been a suspicious merchant who's been selling knockoffs of brand name goods. Retailers around here have been getting inquiries from customers on them. We were thinking of giving them a heads up to the police about it, so your timing is perfect. Would you like the names of the stores that were notified? That'd be great, thank you. Oh boy. Fraud alert. After no lead from the unexpected source, they went right to visiting the stores specified. They were more than happy to give obvious tells for the knockoffs. The similarities between each account were almost astounding. Then, with plenty of new information in hand, they agreed to find a place to sift through their findings while resting their feet. There was no better place to sit down than a certain bakery in the West Street. We managed to collect a fair bit of information. Indeed, such as how the victims up to this point have dealt with import goods and import brands and foodstuffs. Brands like the Quincy Company and Strega Corporation are among them. Wherever these are sold, a merchant has appeared to offer the exact same products for a much lower price. These alternatives, however, are inferior knockoffs. By the time this is discovered, the merchant has already disappeared. I think there's a connection here. Almost undoubtedly, it ties into our current case. So fraud and counterfeit goods, You're still worried about that man we said earlier? You shouldn't be. Being Erebonian does not mean you have to shoulder the responsibilities of your entire country. Thank you, I appreciate that. But to me, he represents the majority of Crossbell's people. It makes me feel like I can't do anything to make them feel better, as an Imperial citizen and as an inspector. I see. You really are so much like me in my younger years. How so? You're deeply serious but with a strong sense of justice that makes you want to live up to the expectations placed upon you. But now, suddenly all that pressure has become so immense that it's suffocating you. Is that it? I don't know. No, you might be right. With the Chancellor gone, now gone, the Empire is racing toward a new era. And amidst all this, my dad is now the representative Chancellor of the entire country. The first step we need to take for this new era is to restore and stabilize our relationship with Crossbell. I believe he's expecting of me the kind of inspection results that will work to that end. Yet here I am, with my hands full with just the stuff immediately right in front of me. I can't help but hate how much of a good-for-nothing guy I am. I hope you don't mind me countering this, but I think you should be more confident in yourself, Machias. You chose the thorn-filled path of being an inspector despite how difficult it was going to be. And against your young age, you've been entrusted with the most important aftermath of restorations after the war. These more than prove you're qualified, and it means you absolutely can live up to the expectations your dad has of you. I get panicked when I don't produce results quickly enough, but it is a brew not truly at its most divine when the beans have been roasted longer. I'm sure you understand what I mean as a fellow lover of coffee. Yeah, you're right. I think I've been trying to rush my progress so much that it's only made things worse instead. Maybe it'll take a bit longer to produce results, but better to take it slow and steady than run myself into the ground. That's the way. Hello, Detective. And to you too, Inspector. I don't know if I've ever seen you two in the same place before. If I recall, you're from that former law office, aren't you? I asked if he'd be willing to cooperate with an investigation of mine. We're just taking a short break. One investigation, if I may ask. Is it about the dealer of counterfeit goods? Been keeping up with the times, have you? Yeah, Grace has been all over it. I got to thinking about how the SSS once worked a similar case, so I was going through some old leads, and... What? Would you mind showing us those leads? If we can get our hands on some evidence, I might be able to get the First Division to make an arrest. Oh, I don't mind at all. You've done so much for me in the past, Detective. How could I say no? Oh, but keep it a secret from Grace. If she finds out, she might end up forcing her way to a front seat on your investigation. I can picture it now. We'll keep that in mind. Huh. A few hours later. I can absolutely see Grace doing that, honestly. I really hit the jackpot this time, haven't I? Crossbell never fails to disappoint me. Well, save for a few sour moments. I couldn't be happier about our business arrangement myself. It's much easier to get things done this way. That's my line. I hope I can continue this most profitable of relationships. Crossbell regains its independence, and it may become much easier to do business than it was under Imperial rule. I'd welcome the return of a prime hunting ground for folks like us. Oh boy. The joke's on you! What's this? And who might you two be? Well, isn't Minute the con man and the infamous counterfeit dealer from Calvard? You're the small fry that used to cause so much trouble in Crossbell. What? Know who I am, do you? So my past is coming back to haunt me. I never should have allowed that cursed special support section to catch me. The files and the CPD has on you from the last time came in handy. We know everything you've been up to. Surrender peacefully. So this is because of that pesky SSS, is it? Ah, in that case, well, perfect timing. I've been looking for a chance to express my gratitude for all they did for me. She's completely flipped the switch. She'll wake up the whole city at this rate. I've had my run-ins with the SSS as well. You're friends with theirs, and this is an excellent opportunity to relieve some stress. Time to get to work. We'll use sheer force to bring you past your knees. Get out of here, you lackeys! Teach these four-eyed lettuce heads a lesson. Well then, no one's coming. Where the hell are they? Oh dear. How did the cops find out about the meeting spot? Damn it, this is why I hate working with crooks that always get caught. Was that directed at me? I told you were 2 steps ahead of you. The entire department will be here soon. I hope you don't think you can get away. Aren't we clever? All we have to do is break past you and we can run this racket over and over again. And if you don't step aside, then we'll force you out of our way. Get him! Have it your way. We're more than prepared to respond. I'm counting you, Inspector Regnitz. Of course. Aww. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to use Dudley in a fight. And then there were 2. Those worthless idiots. What a truly tragic end. For you, as if I'd give up so easily. What are you gonna do with that dinky little pistol? Oh, come on, Dudley. What are you doing? So, 1 weapon left. God, you have worse aim than the Stormtrooper. Now do you get it? This is the Ironheimer of justice. Eat my dust, you bastards! So I'll always have a place to escape as long as there's a horizon to reach. What the? Why won't the engine start? I tried to tell you. Of course we already discovered your getaway plan. So we got out ahead of you and cut the engine. You're welcome to try swimming away from here, though. How could you? Well, I was counterfeit dealer, Minith. You've escaped justice in the past due to your status as foreigners, but that ends today. Crossbelt and its laws are evolving. I'll put in a good word for you to see to it that you get tried here. Best of luck. Is that really how it ends? That was perfect. How could this happen? Fuck you, old lady. So the counterfeit dealer and swindle that caused the Stern Crossbow are finally caught. The supply routes had impeded some return to normal as the investigation progressed. It was shortly after when Machias heard that the cafe was restocking his favorite coffee bean, inspiring him to drop by the next day before work. Coffee bros are back in business. Sorry, thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials. Boy, I think my jaw about hit the floor when I heard the case had been solved. Thanks to you two, barely put a dent in business. We owe you one. So, the owner sits on the house today. Oh wow, thank you. Coffee bros.
やはり朝はこのブレンドに限りますね。
ああ、体に染み渡るようだ。朝といえばこうでなくてはな。ところで、一つ相談なのだが、時間が合えば今度一緒に昼食でもどうだ。コーヒーがよく合うランチを出す店を知っているのだが。
ええ、ぜひよろしくお願いします。
I'm not a drinker of coffee, so I'll never understand what makes coffee so fascinating to drink. For me, I can't stand the smell of coffee. You'd think that's weird, but I just can't stand the smell of coffee. Well, naturally, I get fucking coffee as a recipe. Alright. Wonderful. I can brew some coffee myself. Machias will be pleased. Yeah, but I'm not a purveyor of coffee, so Justice Blend. Alright, well, short and sweet. The Fallen Prince. I'm really interested in this one. I perfectly understood the choice I made. For the first time in my life, I made a choice entirely of my own free will. There's no one to cling to anymore, no one to protect me. Such is the path I chose to walk. So this is the first time we're actually seeing seeing Ouroboros. Glorious. There he is, look at the man. Cedric. Who in the right mind would call us clean? Maid! That's right, what am I doing? I need some fresh air. Hey, you're not a prince anymore, buddy. You're not a prince anymore. The fallen prince. My first months as part of the society were grueling and painful. I began as an enforcer candidate and struggled through one ordeal after the next under Shirley's watchful eye. With some of these came a stark realization. I was naive, feeble, and a sorry excuse for a human being. I mean, you know, it took you now to realize that. I mean, look who you're pairing up with. Is this how the Red Constellation trains? Less choking, more moving. This was an actual battlefield. Your lollygagging would have killed you. Your royal blood means nothing here. Think I don't know that? I need to be weaker than without the Imperial Fortress's power, but this is pathetic. You're trying to bomb me instead of beat me to death, kiddo. Another round, please. I think that's enough for one day. I mean, let's be fair. If you thought you can beat, if you could beat Shirley, you're sadly mistaken. She leaves me in the dust like it's nothing. They sure aren't going easy on him just because he used to be a prince, huh? In Ouroboros, only the strong succeed. This is no place for the pampered. I'm surprised even Gilbert's part of the society with his history. Even I struggle to find my feet at first. Well, if he fails to become an enforcer, I could always use another lackey. Damn it! Damn it all! I thought I could do better than that. Did I even learn anything at Thor's? No, what am I thinking? I knew this wouldn't be easy. I didn't choose to expect anything to be handed to me. So why do I feel so... Just like I thought, he's still too soft. It takes more than a little darkness buried in your heart to become an enforcer. Whether he sings or swims is entirely up to him at this point. Which reminds me, I heard you went to Shirley with a request, Professor. Since when did you two get so cozy? Yes, I approached her about creating the ideal conditions for an experiment of mine. I realized her men that have their hands plenty full, but I'm still hopeful they can provide me with some useful data. Days later, Shirley led me to the ancient battlefield in Crossbow for reasons I wasn't made privy to. What awaited me was a training exercise harsher than anything they had given me before. You want me to take on the Red Constellation and a group of enhanced Jaegers alone? Sure do. All you gotta do is survive to the end and give Gareth and Gilbert a good fight. And it's not like you'll really be all alone. You have your little partner I borrowed from the professor to help you out. He said something about wanting to test combat links between people and Arcadians or something. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Maybe use it as a diversion or something. Get creative! Oh, and we set up some gizmos that will insulate the battlefield sound, so feel free to go ape. I can't think this oversized toy is going to be of any use to me. What's the point of giving me a task that I have no chance of succeeding at? Look, if you're scared of giving me this a shot, you're free to run away like a little baby. I invited you, but no one is forcing you to stay. Want to run? There's the door. No one will hear you come. No one here will come running after you. But ask yourself if you wouldn't live to regret it. That's a decision you gotta make for yourself. Not as a prince, but as your own person. Oh, and the front gate's locked. It'd be too easy if it wasn't, so find some other way inside, got it? And also... What the... There's your cue. Off you go. I wouldn't stand in one spot for too long if I were you. Because I told Gareth he's welcome to put you down if he has a clean shot. Must be kidding. Fine, I'm going. He's here. Auras will not to hold back. Let's get him. Damn it. Well, neither will I. Oh, I'm actually using him? I didn't think I was actually going to use him. Alright, we've never actually seen this guy in a fight before. Well, I think we have, but not... Alright. I'm using a robot. Got Carmine Ray Hart. Now he's just out of... Oh, no, I got it. My robot's about to die. Do you have an S-Craft? Man, it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough when you're by yourself. Woo! Stole it. Thanks, robot. How can even rank and file Jaegers be this strong? Yeah. His reflexes aren't too shabby. No wonder the commander sees potential in him. You call this a fair fight? I don't expect anyone to win when they're outnumbered by... Hey, do you know who you're shooting at? Do you think you can get away with this? I don't know. Who are we shooting at? And what are you gonna do about it? All I see is a target to hunt down, so that's what we're gonna do. Keep your head on a swivel if you don't want to lose it. This isn't like any training I've been subjected to in my whole life. You're surely trying to have me killed? What's the point of having me be hunted down like a wild animal? Man, this guy's had it rough. This is some deeply harsh training. Look at the odds that's stacked against him. Jesus Lord. This is absurd. I'm such a rice Arnor. I shouldn't be subject to a fight for my life like this. Let him go. Why? Why is this happening to me? What did I do? What did I ever do to deserve everything? Sorry, buddy. You get no sympathy from me. Listen to me act like I'm still a prince of an imperial family, not some nobody. People have been sent to Chihana for far less than the unspeakable crimes I committed over the last year. Don't even try to say that you were just being manipulated, Cedric. You did it because you wanted to. It was your own will and your own desires that led you to go astray, help start a war, and then finally end up in the society. I need to grow the hell up and start taking responsibility for my own life.
そうだ。今や僕はただのセドリックだ。祖国も家族も親友も捨てて裏に落ちた。プライドが高いだけの半端者に過ぎない。そんなこともうとっくに彼らが気づかせてくれたはずだったんだけどな。こんなところで犬死にはできない。絶対に。それはきっと彼らを冒涜してしまうことと同じだから。
Huh? Surrendering?
どうしたんだい？こんなところで君たちごときに負けるつもりはない。来るといい。
Gilbert! Everyone's favorite jokester. About time. So you managed to make it here after all. To be honest, I didn't think you'd still be in one piece. I wouldn't be if I had tried to fight them all at once. I'm wise enough to know how to scatter the enemy and slip by them. It's a basic military tactic I learned at the academy. Now all it's left is defeating you two and then I'll have passed. Don't expect me to take it easy on you. Is it me or is there something different about you? Finally found the resolve to face your fate head on. Good, and I will respond in kind. You shall be tested by the Blitz as the young miss ordered. Have it your way, test me as you see fit. I still don't get the whole flippantly attitude, but fine. You're about to learn about the whole, about learn that the world's a cold, cruel place. I, Gilbert Stein, regimental commander of the 6th Enhanced Jaeger Brigade, shall be your tutor.
さて、この包囲網を突破できますか？
シーリがあんまり調子に乗るんじゃないぞ。なんの
Wow, this is not. This is rude. Alright.
我が内なる炎に いいだろう
Alright.
捕らえたカリスマいいだろう赤き力よカーインハート行くぞ捕らえたカリスマソード
My robot!
終わりだ。
行くぞ捕らえたカリスマソードチャンスだ
なかったか。
くそー、なかなかやるじゃないか。
Alright. Does he have an S break? I guess I'm gonna find out, right?
いいだろう
You don't even have any healing. Oh boy. Oh, it's this thing again.
頼む、仲直りをしようじゃないか。バカに引っかかったな。まさか
諦めて
Whoa.
たまるか
Okay. Alright.
捕らえたカリスマソード
Of course, this guy would just fucking ruin it. Alright.
カーインハート行くぞ捕らえたカリスマソード
It sucks that I can't do anything to you, buddy. You're up there and I can't hit you. It's cheating. It's totally cheating.
捕らえたカリスマソードチャンスだ
仕留める。
なんの
Down you go, Gilbert.
まだまだこんなものじゃない。
Oh. Well done. Damn newbie acting like he owns the place. Oh. Swin has a society's hierarchy based on seniority. But no need to look so glum. I'll be certain to find a suitable use for you as an enforcer. I will not stand for this. Commander? The battle's over, sir. I think we should accept. I'm not accepting anything. I will not be walked over all over by this twerp. To my side, G Apache. So this is your personal aircraft I've heard so much about, Isn't that intimidating? Good, I'm gonna show you some respect, newbie. Watch and learn how a real Ouroboros veteran fights. Alright, this has gone long enough. Thought it was fun, Gareth. Are you sure? Our boy wants to be an enforcer, yeah? Then let him fight his own battles. This is a good chance to see what he can do. Very well, I'll attend your little class. And once I graduate, I'll show you that I'm done being used. From now on, I'll live life on my own terms. God, look at his face. Alright. Trying to burn it. That's what I'm trying to go for. I don't think I can burn it. Look at his face. All right, that's an interesting use to make use of your Apache. That's kind of funny. Of course I would miss, naturally. Max's buff is out. Don't do that, my guy, please. Oh, ow. That almost killed my robot. I don't appreciate that. One turn recovery, love it. Absolutely love it. Don't you love it? I sure do. Alright. Fuck your Apache. Even the robot leveled up, really? No, this can't be happening! Commander! Not again. Huh. Phew. Not bad. So you can do it if you put your mind to it. I hope you aren't implying that this was in any way a challenge. My goal is to be an enforcer. Small far like him won't stand in my way. Now that's more like it. You should keep fighting like your life depends on it. That's the most fun way to live, if you ask me. Can't say that sounds very tempting knowing your twisted sense of fun. Very well, I welcome any challenge. Alright, man. You do you. A path I've chosen is no way righteous, but it is the right path for me. I must learn to walk it and continue forward even when I'm separated from those who care for me. I have no right to thank any of you, let alone face you and ask for your forgiveness. However, Kurt, Alphine, Olivert, and Reen, I still... Still what? You're still an asshole, so I hope you suffer. I hope you suffer! It's the wedding. I remember these were scenes that played out in the true ending of in the last game. Oh, he was there? Alright. Still an asshole, though. You're still an asshole. Prominence Nova. Ooh. Removes all positive effects and burn 200%. Alright. It's one of those. It's one of those that you can sim all EP. Nice. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for this part. We got 2 done. We got 2 accomplished. That's nice. There's about like 15-20 minutes to cut because I had to walk away. When we come back, we will do the last daydream, and then we will continue on with Rufus's path. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Later.